Dear colleagues, this is phacoemulsification of a cataract with mid-dilated pupil. Let us watch the surgical steps. By this time the main incision 2.8 mm has been made. Now this is a paracentesis incision on the right side of the main incision. In this case I want to stain the anterior capsule with trypan blue dye, and I always use the dye underneath an air bubble. This is the trypan blue dye. Now I am using adrenaline in this case to see if the pupil dilates further. I'm injecting adrenaline through the side port also. And now I watch that the pupil hasn't dilated well. It is almost the same size. So adrenaline doesn't have good effect in all cases. Now viscoelastic substance is injected to the antechamber, and you can see that pupil has dilated to about 5.5 mm. One more side port is made on the left side of the main incision. Now I am going to do capsulorhexis. I incise the anterior capsule with a 26 gauge bent needle, and now I take a utrata forceps, hold this capsular tag, and I go along the pupillary margin, along the border of the pupil to get a rhexis of adequate size. But since at this time there is some leakage of viscoelastic substance, the pupil constricts. So at some points I go beyond the margin of the pupil to get an adequate sized rhexis. And now is the time to do hydrodissection. Hydrodissection should be done very carefully. In such cases, I will be over the cortex, and in this area, at 2 o'clock, the rhexis margin is visible. I go underneath the rhexis margin and inject BSS. I see the fluid wave go to the other side, depress the nucleus, and I try to rotate the nucleus. But in this case the nucleus didn't rotate nicely. Here I am trying to rotate the nucleus and I find that the nucleus is not rotating. So I inject viscoelastic substance and I enter into the eye. What I'm going to do, I'm going to choff, and through the cleft I'm going to do reverse hydrodissection. In this case I'm going to do vertical choff. I'll hold the nucleus right at the center and see the pupil constricts. And this is vertical choff. The nucleus will crack antero-posteriorly. That's it. Now each heminucleus is further divided into parts and each nuclear fragment is emulsified and taken out. This cataract is soft. Phaco power used in this case is only 50%. Flow rate is 35 ml per minute and vacuum is 350 mm of mercury. If we use higher vacuum, we cannot hold the nuclear mass in soft cataracts. So, and see how I rotate the phaco tip, making the bevel towards the nuclear mass so that it occludes easily, and I can pull it towards the center of the antechamber, and I always emulsify the nuclear mass while I am at the center of the anterior chamber. At the center of the antechamber, I am at the farthest distance from the endothelium and I am at the furthest distance from the posterior lens capsule. Now I inject some viscoelastic substance, take a 23 gauge Simcoe cannula and aspirate the cortical matter. One can use bimanual IA who is comfortable with bimanual IA. I find this instrument very safe in situations where bimanual IA doesn't appear safe. This instrument appears very safe in my hands. So I'm going through the side port, which is at 8 o'clock, and removing the sub-incisional cortical matter. Most of the cortical matter has been removed. Some cortex is there at 5 o'clock. Here it comes. And now the cortex is nicely removed, and at this time I'm polishing the posterior capsule. The posterior capsule can be polished only by the jet of fluid that comes out through the irrigating probe. Here it is. Just use the fluid jet to polish the posterior capsule. This may be called hydro polish, polishing with the help of water. Now I fill up the antechamber and capsular bag with SPMC and implant a hydrophobic acrylic intraocular lens. This is a beautiful lens from Bosch & Lomb. This is Envista. This lens takes longest time to unfold. No financial interest, but just to let you know the character of the lens. This takes longest time to unfold, but it is a good lens, remains clear. In the last 4 years follow-up, I haven't come across glistening in this lens. Now I'm behind the intraocular lens and removing the viscoelastic substance from the capsular bag. I use bimanual IA also to remove the viscoelastic substance. I feel glad, I feel good if I remove the viscoelastic substance thoroughly. This is the last point. Just I have to form the antechamber and conclude the case. Hope this video will help you in developing your skills. Just remember, when the pupil is not dilated well, do vertical chop. It is very safe, and that's it. Thank you very much for your attention.